Welcome to the Hawley Area Community Show. I'm your host, Jody. I'm here at Reach, and I have a visitor. This is a visitor that's actually an icon of Hawley, Kim Murphy. And actually, he's here. Someone recommended that I talk to him because he's just passing through on a train, and I don't know anyone that loves Hawley more than Kim. So welcome to the show.
Well, thank you very much, Jody.
Now, first of all, you live in Seattle, correct?
I do.
And how long ago did you move there?
I moved there in 1989.
Okay. And you went to school at
Concordia.
Concordia,
yeah.
Okay. And then you got the job in Seattle, or where have you been?
I've 89 is when I moved to Seattle and got the job at the University of Washington 14 years ago. So this will be my 15th year at the Odegaard Undergraduate Library at the University of Washington.
Okay, and you came here by train, which I think is so interesting. So how does that work?
I've taken it probably 25 times back and forth from the Empire Builder from Fargo to Seattle and Milwaukee, back and forth. And I just enjoy taking the train. And usually when I come back, I have more time on my hands, so that's why I do it.
You come back to Hawley, but you're also able to get off wherever you want. Is that right?
I actually have a 30-day pass coming up now this next month, so I'll be traveling back to Seattle to do a visit there, then San Francisco, Denver, Chicago, Washington, D.C., New York, possibly Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Chicago, Minneapolis, St. Paul, and then back here for Labor Day.
Oh, you're coming back for Labor Day?
How
wonderful.
Yeah.
So you were back for the all-school reunion, and what did you think?
It was very fun. I was surprised how many classmates I got to see. Ours was a little disorganized, but our class has always been disorganized. So
you were the class of 76. Class of that was a big year, I hear.
That was the bicentennial year.
That was the bicentennial year.
And we had, I think I saw 21 out of 55 classmates
that's wonderful.
At some point. Some did not attend any functions. Some I had not seen. That's right.
Well, a guy like you that's moved away from Hawley, when you come back and you bring so many stories of the past, sometimes when you live in your hometown, you're just too close to it. So let's talk a little bit about that, just growing up in Hawley. Now, you lived in town, correct?
I lived at 5th and Reno, 719 5th Street. And
you had a love of photography, I know, to this day, but when did that begin?
That was probably my brother is the one he graduated in 1962 from Hawley, so there's a wide gap between us. But he was the one who was involved in photography. Then also Norman Rose and Wayne Nelson at the school. So I did photography for Bob Brecken occasionally too for the Herald.
You did. I kind of remember that. And I know we're Facebook friends, so I get to see your pictures, which is so fun because these pictures are a blast from the past. There's a lot from the 70s and 80s. Yeah. And during the time of the Yumkunst, you have a great shot of the Yumkunst coming out of the building, correct?
I took about probably 5 rolls of pictures, I think, in that when it was brought out, and then probably the best ones are from up on the elevator, which was this, I think, sunflower drying plant at the time.
So what compelled you to go up there, why did they let you go up there?
I just was looking around for a place to get a better shot, and I went over and asked the elevator manager, I said, do you mind if I go up there? And he goes, no, go ahead. So I went up there and I took pictures, I was probably up there an hour or so. And then here, I believe it was the Minneapolis Tribune photographer saw me up there, and she came up there. And I think that's the picture they used in the Tribune.
Isn't that something? It was from
up there, so that was kind of cool.
That is very cool. We're going to talk more about your documentation skills. We're going to take a little break and we'll be right back. And we're back with Kim Murphy, a Hawley native that currently lives in Seattle, and we're so glad to have him back because Kim is the type of person that just gets so enthusiastic when talking about memories in Hawley. You're back for the all-school reunion, and so you heard stories. Did you take a lot of pictures? Did you collect, or what did you do? Because I know that's a big part of who you are.
And this reunion, I did not take a lot of pictures, unfortunately. I took a few. I set my video camera up and got some shots. Marilyn Kwan performing, that was one of the ones that was fun to get. But that's one of the things that I regret after the reunion, that I didn't get more, more videos and stories and things like that.
Yeah. So I wonder if there's a way, because I know we have many hours of my grandpa, who is a World War I veteran, documenting his stories when he was alive, and those are so priceless to us. And I'm wondering if there's a way that we could connect people's stories.
See, and that's that really. I was just visiting with Steve Trandom, Pastor Trandom. He used to be at Listening Solem, and he had done a history with his dad for an hour and a half, and just amazing stories that came up. And that's something that, like you say, I get enthusiastic about things that I don't have to actually do the work on.
Yeah, exactly.
And so this is one of those things where, I really can't do anything there, but, if there's a way that we can find to maybe support either some high school students doing a project where they'll, do histories of people either at the manor, set up a time once a week to do it at the library, something that would give people the opportunity to tell those stories.
There are some people in this town. I interviewed Lefty Johnson. Lots of stories there.
I can imagine that.
So so I talked to some people, and they had some questions they wanted me to ask you. Speaking of stories, so let's do that. I have a short list of things we need to know about Kim Murphy. First of all, who would you say is the most unique person in Hawley?
Is, was, will be. I tend to think of people who were very unique. Leroy Wheeler is somebody that I remember very well.
Okay, we'll go with him.
Leroy kept the streets, kept the sidewalks clear, and probably somebody who really stands out, in my memory of being, somebody who wasn't quite the typical.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, how about you? This might be scary, but you have to answer these questions, by the way. You get no passes.
Okay.
Who's your favorite high school teacher?
High school teacher, Wayne Nelson.
Okay. I'm supposed to ask you if you bought penny candy at Waldrug.
I did.
Yes.
I bought too much.
Any favorites?
The Sweet Tarts were good.
They were good.
7-Up bars, which I miss.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I'm supposed to ask you about your dog, Torpedo.
Torpedo, yes, Torpedo was killer. I named him. He was actually the Strands dog, or a puppy from the Strands, and he was a Chihuahua Terrier that guarded 5th and Reno.
5th and Reno, and that's where you were raised?
That's right.
Okay.
Yep.
Did you have any fun jobs in Hawley?
I worked at the job shop with Helen Siegel, what was Burns Motor store front room.
The job shop?
The
what
job
did
shop.
You do
it was
there?
getting people jobs.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And so that was a fun summer job.
Okay, and then I am supposed to just ask you if you liked growing up with a unisex name. My name is Jody, a unisex name. Yours is Kim. Did you enjoy that?
I survived, and I'm a better person for it. And Francis is my middle name, so I don't have any help there either.
Ouch.
So.
Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule connecting with people. Thanks for coming to the show. Until next time.